We hear so many different advices from people all around us who tell us what to do and what not to do about dog socialization, and it eventually leads us into a big puddle, right? So today, I'm going to touch some topics that are completely untouched by the general trainers, behaviorists, and so-called experts on dog socialization. What are they? Let's look ahead. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is social behavior, or what does socialization mean. We are going to talk about what social behavior means in humans, what it means in dogs, the mistakes that we do, and how to rectify them. We observe and learn as we grow up from our peers, from our elders, from our surroundings, and all the other people that we see. Uh, we pick up on different kind of signs, sounds, smell, textures, and a lot of other things from our general environment, right? And as we grow up, we also tend to pick up on a lot of different kind of things that's there in our internal and external environment. But even after we grow up, we cannot end up calling ourselves completely socialized. Why do you ask? I mean, there's a biggest example out there. We've got something as simple as people who are very social and people who are not very, so introverts and extroverts ring a bell. And that exactly what happens even for dogs as well. Similar to humans, dogs also, as they grow up, pick up on signs, smells, textures, and obviously a different kind of feelings from the environment. What also happens with dogs is, not only do they have to get used to the environment that they're growing up in, but they also need to get used to living with us humans. The biggest problem that dogs face in human relationships or human society is they need to get used to our social norms, which is pretty difficult and pretty inhumane, if you ask me, because at the end of the day, dogs are dogs, right? And we are trying to get them used to our social life and our environment, which is absolutely fine, but not to force our shortcomings on them. Everybody does it. The biggest mistake that all pet parents do is this. One, they don't research. They don't do enough research. I've come across thousands of people in my career till now, and let me be very frank, we don't research about sex, we don't research about breed, we don't research about what kind of dog that would suit our environment. And what we do is we get influenced by social media. We look at a dog that's either too cute or too intimidating because that's what we want, right? And again, once you select a breed, we forget about a very, very, very important factor. Each and every breed has an individual characteristics even within the breed. So even if it's a Rottweiler, I can stand 10 Rottweilers in front of the camera. All 10 will have different and different kind of relationship, different kind of personality, and different kind of characteristics. We need to respect that. It also doesn't matter what kind of breed or what kind of rescue that dog is. It can be any breed and it can be rescued from anywhere. What you need to figure out is the dog gets to observe and absorb as much from its environment, both internal and external. And that's a very important factor. So, what are you supposed to do? Right? Let's look at it in 4 simple points. Number one, look at yourself. How are you as a person? What kind of life do you live? Because what kind of life you live is what's going to get mirrored on your dog, and that is exactly how your dog's going to get molded into. So make sure that you look at yourself first, both in your internal environment and your external environment as well, because your dog is going to take on the exact same role as you do. Number two, select your dog after conducting thorough research. I cannot emphasize enough on this point. A lot of people get influenced by what kind of dog to get from other people, which should not be the case. Trust your instincts, because if you fail, your dog fails, and another dog lands up at the shelter, and that's your biggest failure for you and not anybody else. And the only thing that suffers is the dog, nobody else. So please do your research. Certain breeds can do very well in certain situations, and others cannot be so good in those situations. Each and every dog is different, each and every breed is different. Do your research. If you're getting a puppy, expose it to different kind of situations. Your puppy needs to know what kind of situation that you live in and you function in. Once that happens, that dog's going to be a very good dog, and that's what socialization is all about. If you are a reclusive person, your dog's going to turn out reclusive because you don't go out enough. If you're a social person, your dog's going to get very much social because you go out as well. But if you get a nervous dog and take it to a very confident household, it's going to cause a wreck because that dog doesn't want to meet other people. So please make sure you do your research. If you're getting an older dog, please don't get influenced by other people or rescuers or activists that you come across. Do your research, check if that particular dog can fit in right where your life is. Because if it can't, that dog's going to go back to the rescuer and is going to keep on waiting for another house. Don't cause too much unnecessary trauma in your and your dog's life. If you've been having dogs for quite some time, or if you know about dogs well, then listen to your dog, read your dog. Because if you can't, then please hire somebody who can, a professional, a registered professional, not somebody who just says, hey, you know what, I can train dogs because just because I've got a certificate. I can get certificates a dime a dozen on the internet. And that's absolutely true. Because if you mess up, not only are you messing up your own life, but that's a life of a dog that's going to get wasted, possibly going to land up at a shelter. Worse, if it's a kill shelter and that dog isn't really going to have a lot of time to live. And it won't be the dog's mistake, it won't be the person's mistake who got you the dog. It will be 100% your mistake, and you need to take responsibility for your actions. So make sure, take a good decision, and obviously make sure you expose your dog enough to different kind of surroundings, to different kind of dogs, to different kind of people, to different kind of sounds and textures, and that's how you get a dog that's purely socialized. But if you are not really going to be part of certain situations majority time of your life, let your dog not be a part of it as well. Just because somebody else's dog does something, don't force yours into it as well. Hope this video was helpful for you. We also are on Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow us there. You can ask us questions on the comments below, or obviously on Instagram and Facebook. Please subscribe to our channel. We are a new entity and we are trying to do something good for dogs and their humans both.